Ikenna came from a very rich background. His parents were so wealthy that they sent him outside the country for his university education. He's lived a life without lack, never tasting suffering or hardship. At age 25, he was completing his master's degree abroad and already had a clear goal: to return to Nigeria and settle down immediately after graduation. It wasn't just his parents who wanted him to marry early. Ikenna himself wanted that. Why? Because during a previous visit to Nigeria, he met a young woman at the airport. Her name was Temidayo. She worked as a ticketing agent and had helped him sort out some travel issues. She even offered him a ride to his family home in Ikoyi that day. Something about her humility, kindness, and quiet confidence made Ikenna feel like he had found a life partner. On the day he finished his degree, he wasted no time. He booked his flight and returned to Nigeria, excited to not just reunite with his family but to also pursue a serious relationship with Temi. When he landed in Lagos, it was Temidayo who picked him up at the airport again. "Thank you so much for bringing me home. I'm so lucky to have you. What would I do without you?" Ikenna said as they reached his family gate. "I'm the lucky one here. You're from a very rich background, yet you're still very humble. I just hope your parents will accept me as your wife." Temidayo replied with concern. "Why wouldn't they? You're amazing. Tonight, you're coming to our house for dinner. I'm going to introduce you to them properly. I'm serious about us." "Are you sure? It's not too soon? What if they don't approve?" she asked. "There's no time to waste. I don't want anyone else to take you away from me," Ikenna said confidently. They said their goodbyes and Temidayo drove off, agreeing to return that evening. When Ikenna walked into the house, his parents were shocked but happy to see him. They had no idea he was returning that day. The joy on their faces were genuine. "You came back. Ah, my son," his mother said, hugging him tightly. After catching up a little, he said, "I have someone to introduce to you. You've always wanted me to get married early. Well, I found the woman I want. She's coming here tonight." The parents looked at each other, curious but supportive. "Okay, no problem. Let's meet her," his father said. The house was prepped for a mini feast. The cook was asked to prepare assorted dishes and the dining area was decorated modestly. Temidayo arrived that evening, escorted by the family driver. She was dressed simply but tastefully, a reflection of her character. As the four of them sat around the table eating, everything seemed peaceful until the questions began. "Where are you from?" Ikenna's mother asked. "Lagos, ma," Temidayo answered. "I thought so. But I was hoping Ikenna would marry someone from the east, from our tribe. I don't like him marrying outside." She stayed without hiding her displeasure. "I agree with my wife," Ikenna's father added. "We already have a wife prepared for him. We went to the village and paid her bride price while he was away." The table went silent. Temidayo was shocked. Her face flushed with embarrassment. She stood up politely. "Excuse me, please. Thank you for dinner," she said and quietly left the house. Ikenna said nothing. His heart was heavy, but he didn't know how to handle the shock. The next morning, his parents traveled to the village and returned with a new girl, Nenna. She was the chosen one, already paid for, culturally approved and ready to marry their son. "Village girls make better wives. That's why we chose her. She will respect you, take care of you, and uphold tradition," his mother said proudly. "But I didn't even see her before you paid the bride price," Ikenna protested. "When I married your mother, I didn't see her either, and she turned out to be the best decision I ever made," his father responded. Ikenna was silent. A few days later, the court wedding was done. A high-profile reception followed. Only the wealthy and influential were invited. Everything looked picture-perfect on the outside, but deep inside, Ikenna was not okay. He felt like a puppet in his own life. After the ceremony, as they prepared to go home, Nenna, hungry and tired from all the activities, sat in the back seat of the car with a plate of jollof rice. Ikenna's mother, seated beside her, was disgusted. "Why are you eating like that? Can't you wait till we get home? You're embarrassing us," she snapped. Without a word, Nnenna stepped out of the car, opened the front passenger door, and landed 3 hot slaps on her mother-in-law's face. "Don't ever talk to me like that. I'm your son's wife, not your maid." Everyone was stunned. Ikenna was frozen in shock. His father jumped out from the driver's seat to retaliate, but Nnenna gave him 5 slaps across the face, one after the other. "You people think you can intimidate me because I'm married to your family? I will beat the both of you." Ikenna's mother screamed and collapsed into tears. Ikenna stood quietly and said with calm sarcasm, "Mommy, this is the wife you chose for me. You didn't want Temidayo. You forced me to marry Nnenna. Now, enjoy her." In Nigeria, it is considered a grave abomination for a woman to lay her hands on her mother-in-law. Respect for elders is sacred, but Nnenna didn't come into the family to play by the rules. After the public embarrassment during the wedding ride, where Nnenna slapped both of Ikenna's parents, the entire family was in shock. Ikenna's mother screamed and wept in the street. His father stood frozen, unsure of how to process what just happened. Guests whispered, even the driver turned his face in shame. Ikenna simply stepped out of the car and told them, "This is the wife you people chose for me. You didn't want Temidayo. You brought her from the village. Well, enjoy your decision." Nnenna hissed. She held her plate of food and climbed into another car. "Let them cry till next week," she muttered. That night, Ikenna's parents couldn't sleep. His mother walked up and down the sitting room murmuring, "What did I bring into my home? I can't live under the same roof with this woman. Her slap felt like a soldier's hand," his father said. Still, the next morning, his mother decided to give Nnenna the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was just stressed from the wedding. She quietly walked to Nnenna's room and woke her up and asked her to cook. She tapped Nnenna's shoulder. The new bride opened her eyes slowly and stared without blinking. "Go to the kitchen and prepare food for the family," her mother-in-law said gently. "I'm not your maid. I married your son, not you. Before I came here, didn't you people cook?" Nnenna replied, "That may be true, but now it's your duty." "Who made it my duty? Leave my room before I show you Pepe again. It's like you forgot yesterday's treatment," Nnenna said, adjusting her wrapper and standing up. The old woman ran out of the room in fear. Since that day, the house was no longer peaceful. The parents tiptoed around their new daughter-in-law like prisoners in their own home, but Ikenna remained unbothered. In fact, he found amusement in their predicament. "I'm enjoying this marriage," he said, sipping wine and watching TV. They rejected Temi, now they must enjoy Nnenna. One afternoon, Nnenna walked into the kitchen while Ikenna's mother was preparing soup. She didn't lift a finger to help. When the food was ready, she dished it into a large tray, knelt before Ikenna in the living room and said, "My husband, your food is ready." She even held a bowl for him to wash his hand, spread napkin on his lap, and made him feel like royalty. Ikenna's mother watched in silence from the corner. Her face was stiff. The food was hers. She had cooked it, but Nnenna pretended like she was the one who made it. "She's trying to deceive him with fake humility," his mother said to her husband later that night. "She waited for me to finish cooking. Now she's pretending to be a good wife. That girl will disgrace us," she added. Later that night, the parents visited Ikenna in his room. "My son, we want to talk to you. This girl, Nnenna, she's not a good wife. Please send her away before things get worse," his mother said tearfully. Ikenna looked up and shook his head. "You brought her. You paid her bride price. You wore her a wedding gown. You rejected the woman I loved and gave me Nnenna. Now you want me to send her away?" "No, I won't do it. If anyone will send her away, it must be you." They stood there, defeated, and quietly left the room. The next morning, Ikenna's mother was slicing bread and boiling water for tea. Nnenna walked into the kitchen, snatched bread and tea, marched to the dining table to eat without a word. Ikenna's mother sat alone in the kitchen and cried, "I've used my hand to bring a lioness into my home.
Ikenna's family home had become a battleground since Ikenna arrived. Peace had disappeared like smoke in Harmattan. His parents barely spoke. His mother lived in fear. His father, once loud and firm, now walked softly through his own corridors. But Ikenna, he was relaxed, almost too relaxed. He sat on a plush chair, sipping wine and laughing at the comedy happening in the house. This is what they wanted, he said to himself. They rejected the person I wanted for them, and now they must live with their decision. Ikenna walked into the living room, smiling. She rubbed his head and tickled his neck playfully. Leave me alone, Ikenna. Do you want to kill me with love? Ikenna said, chuckling. You're my husband. I must show you love every day, so no other girl outside will get the chance, she replied sweetly. Moments later, she disappeared into the kitchen and returned with a food tray. The aroma of egusi soup filled the air. She went on her knees, presented the food and helped Ikenna wash his hand. Ikenna smiled and felt proud. This is the kind of wife every man wants. She respects and feeds me. Who wouldn't love a wife like this? But the truth was that the food wasn't hers. His mother spent hours sweating in the kitchen to make it. Ikenna had only walked in to hijack the final product. Standing at the kitchen entrance, Ikenna's mother watched silently. Her lips were tight and her eyes wet with tears. Weeks has passed since Ikenna's wedding to Ikenna, and his heart remained far from home. Despite all the laughter and service Ikenna gave him in the living room, Ikenna slept alone most nights, either in the guest room or outside the house altogether. He hadn't touched Ikenna, not once. His heart was still with Temidayo. He dialed her number late one evening. I'm coming to see you, Temi. Don't. You made your choice, Temidayo replied coldly. But before she could hang up, Ikenna was already in his car, driving to her house. When Temidayo opened the gate, she folded her arms and stared. What do you want? I came to see you, to tell you that I never stopped loving you. She stepped aside without a word and let him in. Inside the small living room, everything felt like it used to, except now, Temidayo's heart was guarded. She sat down and faced him directly. You threw me away like trash because your parents didn't want me. Now you remember you love me? I was weak, Ikenna confessed. They pressured me, threatened to disown me. I couldn't do anything. But I never stopped loving you. You were weak, yes. You stood there when they insulted me. When I walked out of that house in shame, you didn't even call me back, she said, her voice shaking. I regret it all. But Ikenna, she's not the woman I want. She has been terrorizing the entire house. She slapped my parents on our wedding day. She doesn't cook. She locked my mother in the toilet yesterday. What? Temidayo gasped. I've not touched her, not once. I didn't want to get her pregnant and trap myself. I want to fix this, Temi. I want to be with you. She was silent for a while, then asked softly, do you still love me? With all my heart. If I forgive you, will you stay? Yes. Then prove it. They stood facing each other, their emotions heavy. As they embraced, the pain of the past began to melt. The warmth between them returned. That night, they were one again, not just physically but emotionally. Ikenna was fully aware of what he was doing, but he no longer cared about Ikenna or the expectations of anyone. He wanted peace, and he found it in Temidayo. Meanwhile, back in Ikoyi, Ikenna waited by the window like a lioness. She was angry, confused, and alone. Where did he go again? She muttered. The next day, when Ikenna returned, she was waiting by the door. Where were you last night? My car broke down, Ikenna lied. I had to lodge in a hotel. Why didn't you call? My phone battery died. She didn't believe him. You are avoiding me. You've never touched me. I'm your wife. I have a meeting. We'll talk later, he said and walked out again. Ikenna sat down and cried. I'm tired of waiting. I need answers. Why is he rejecting me? But Ikenna didn't care anymore. That night, he returned to Temidayo's house again. She welcomed him with soft music and warm food. "I missed you," she said. "And I will never leave again," Ikenna replied. Back in Ikoyi, Nnenna roamed the house like a ghost. She knocked on Ikenna's room and found it empty again. She knew where he was. He was with her. "I know it." She stood alone in the bedroom, arms folded and eyes burning with rage. When Ikenna came back the next morning again, she tried to question him, but he didn't even give her his attention. Nnenna sat by the bedside and sobbed. It wasn't the sob of weakness, it was the cry of a woman plotting revenge. Later that evening, Ikenna called Temidayo. "Please come to the house for dinner. My mother is starving. Nnenna hasn't cooked all day." "What about your wife?" "Just come, I have a plan." Temidayo wore a long gown with shorts underneath. She came ready for war. She had heard about Nnenna's temper. Upon arrival, Ikenna welcomed her warmly. His mother lit up with joy. "Temi, my daughter." "I'm here to help," Temidayo said with a smile. She entered the kitchen and began preparing jollof rice. The aroma filled the house. Ikenna's mother peeked in and whispered, "This is what a real daughter-in-law looks like." Temidayo smiled and continued cooking. Suddenly, after the food was done, Nnenna appeared at the kitchen like a ghost. She didn't say a word. She grabbed the entire pot of rice, carried it to her room and locked the door. "She's mad," Ikenna's mother shouted. "She has carried the food." Temidayo wiped her hands, removed her long gown to reveal the tight fighting shorts, and stormed into Nnenna's room without knocking. She used the spare key to open the door, which Nnenna locked. Nnenna was sitting on the bed, eating straight from the pot. "Leave this room," Nnenna said without looking up. "Are you mad? I cooked that food," Temidayo shouted. Nnenna dropped her spoon and slapped Temidayo hard across the face. Temidayo didn't flinch. She picked up the hot pot of rice and poured it directly on Nnenna's head. Nnenna screamed and rolled on the floor, ran in circles, burning and wailing. "My face! My body!" Ikenna and his mother rushed in. "What happened here?" Ikenna asked in shock. "She slapped me and I showed her pepper," Temidayo said. Ikenna's mother clapped and laughed. "You have met your match today. God has answered my prayer. Temidayo, you have saved me." Nnenna rolled on the floor half naked, her wrapper soaked in sauce. The pot stuck to her head like a crown. Her screams could be heard outside the compound. Temi walked out calmly, dusted her hand and sat with Ikenna in the living room. "I'm done being nice. That girl needed to be taught a lesson," she said. Ikenna drove Nnenna to the hospital. Despite everything, he still had a conscience. As the doctor wrapped her bonds, Nnenna kept whispering, "I will deal with all of you." Back at home, Temidayo cooked again and served Ikenna's parents. Laughter returned to the house once again. "She's the one my son should marry," his mother said proudly. Nnenna lay on the hospital bed, her body wrapped in bandages, her face swollen from the burning jollof rice. Nurses avoided her because she was aggressive, rude and angry. "She poured hot rice on me," Nnenna shouted at the nurse. "And you people let her walk free." The nurse calmly replied, "Madam, you slapped her first, so you started it." "Shut up! Just give me my medicine and get out of here." Back at Ikenna's house, peace was blooming. Temidayo cooked, cleaned and made the home feel like home again. Ikenna's parents smiled. His father read newspapers in the garden and his mother joined Temi in the kitchen like a proud mentor. "You've brought light to this home," his mother said one morning. "You've brought peace." "Thank you, Mama. I just want the best for Ikenna." That evening, Ikenna came home with flowers. He knelt down in front of Temidayo and proposed to her. "I want to marry you traditionally. I want to do this right." Temidayo was speechless. His parents clapped and smiled. "We will support you fully," his father said. That night, preparations began. Calls were made, lists were written. Gifts, wine, wrappers, everything was arranged. Temidayo looked at the mirror that night, smiling with tears. After After all the pain, I finally get my joy. But in the hospital, Nnenna was fuming. One of the cleaners whispered something that made her blood boil. Madam, I heard your husband is planning a traditional wedding with that same girl. What did you say? Nnenna sat up like a snake. They are planning it big and your in-laws are very happy. Nnenna stared at the ceiling. They think they can push me aside while I'm still alive? No, they will see madness. The next day, she discharged herself despite the doctor's warning. She left the hospital, entered a taxi and disappeared from sight. The wedding day arrived. The compound was decorated with banners and flowers. Musicians played, women danced. The elders arrived and everything was looking beautiful. Ikenna and Temidayo looked like royalty. I've never been this happy, Temidayo whispered. But something was coming, a black storm dressed in anger. Far away, a taxi parked near the venue. Nnenna stepped out wearing a black dress and a black cap. One arm was still bandaged. Her eyes looked wide. She held a small bag. Inside it was a pistol. She crossed the road and slipped through the crowd. Ikenna's father noticed strange movement and gave a silent signal to the police officers who were hidden among the guests, and they became alert, but it was already too late. Nnenna walked into the center of the crowd and raised the gun. Everybody move! The music stopped, screams followed, plates dropped, and people ran. Temidayo, you think you've won? I warned you all. I will not be shamed. She pointed the gun at Ikenna. Don't do this, Ikenna said calmly. I'm going to shoot you guys and finish everything today. She pulled the trigger at Ikenna and he fell. Then she turned to Temidayo. Temidayo collapsed beside him. There was chaos everywhere. Guests fled in every direction. Phones recorded. His mother fainted. Then there was a miracle. Ikenna moved. Temidayo as well. They sat up slowly. They are alive! Someone screamed. Under their clothes were bulletproof vests. Earlier that week, a nurse had warned Ikenna of Nnenna's plan. He had gone to the police, the family made arrangements and the vests saved their lives. The police officers arrested Nnenna. She screamed and struggled. You will never be happy. I will be back. But no one listened. The ambulance arrived just few minutes after the gunshots. Temidayo and Ikenna were taken to the hospital for a proper checkup. The doctor confirmed that the vests had saved them. You are lucky. If not for these bulletproof clothes, we'll be telling a different story. Back at home, the mood was somber yet relieved. Ikenna's mother sat in silence, still shaking, while his father made calls to close family members. Later that evening, Ikenna and Temidayo returned. The family welcomed them with hugs and tears. They gathered in the sitting room to talk. Mama, Papa, we need to talk, Ikenna said. No, we are the ones who should talk, his mother replied, standing. We are deeply sorry for everything we caused you. We thought we were doing the right thing by choosing a wife for you, but we were wrong. Nnenna brought pain and it was our fault. His father added, this should be a lesson to all parents, to not force marriage on their children and let them love who they love. Temidayo wiped a tear from her eye. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. I hold no grudges. I just want peace. You're not just part of this family. You're our daughter now, Ikenna's mother said, embracing her. The following weekend, the traditional marriage resumed, this time peacefully. Fewer guests were invited. The compound was filled with love, laughter, and calm joy. There were no loudspeakers, no chaos, just heartfelt celebration. Ikenna placed coral beads on Temidayo's neck, fed her kola nuts, and declared her his wife before the elders. I finally got to marry the woman I love, and this time with the full blessings of my parents. Temidayo smiled. After all the fire, here we are. As the evening wore on, Ikenna's mother whispered to her friend, this is the wedding I prayed for, not the one with slaps and pots of rice. They all laughed happily. Peace had returned. Meanwhile, Nnenna sat in a prison cell, still bandaged, staring at the wall. They think they've won, but one day they'll see me again. But for Ikenna and Temidayo, that chapter was finally over.